Hello, everyone. Great to see you again. I'm Erika Harris with Harris Consulting.
And I'm Bonnie Riviere with BMAX Inc. Productions.
And let's have a conversation. You are here today with us at the Beaumont Chamber of Commerce. It's the perfect setting because we're going to talk about jobs today. But first, I want to just thank everyone for watching and sharing and viewing our first video that we talked about thriving and surviving when catastrophe strikes.
Yes.
And a big thank you to our business sponsors out there. But we have some exciting conversation on board today. And Bonnie, tell us about our special guest.
Yes, today we do have a very special guest. Her name is Biguita Hernandez-Smith. Biguita is with Breathe Workforce Development. She also sits on the Greater Beaumont Chamber Workforce Development Board. She is an advisor to BISD Career and Technical Education, and she is Program Board Director for Bridges of Hope. So she is the perfect guest to discuss the job situation and the hope for the job creation in this area.
Exactly. All right, I'm excited. Let's talk.
Hello, folks. I'm Travis Woods with the Gulf Coast Industrial Group. Come join the hottest growing industrial contractors group on the Gulf Coast today. We meet one time a month in Baton Rouge, Lake Charles, Port Arthur, Conroe, Texas, and Corpus Christi, Texas, to discuss industrial projects up and coming in your area today. Contact us today. Come be with us and have a big time. God bless.
Biguita, thank you so much for joining us. You come with a wealth of information. Tell us more about yourself and what you do.
Sure, thank you, Erika. So what I do is, I'm very proud to say that I am a workforce development professional. I have been a workforce development professional for about 15 years. I'm originally from New York City. So I started my career in New York City, managing several workforce development programs and centers. I also managed small business programs nationally.
Excellent.
And then went on to Houston to manage workforce solutions in Houston for their employer service division. And now I'm here in Southeast Texas and looking to really pour into the community.
We are delighted to have you here in Southeast Texas. Thank you so much, first of all, for all you do to help get the engines of the economy back moving again. I have a couple of questions. I'm going to start with this one. For those businesses and or people who have been impacted by COVID in the area of workforce, what should they be thinking and exploring now in the adjustments?
Okay, so first off, let's start with people. It's a time where people can reflect on what it is that they really want to do. Know their talents and how they want to contribute their talents. We all know that whatever our vocation is what we contribute to our community. So I think it's a great silver lining in a pandemic to say that we're going to reset.
Yeah.
And we're going to say, how can I best contribute and pour into the community? There are tremendous amounts of resources. So I'm sure the majority of people are familiar with Texas Workforce Commission, as well as Workforce Solutions locally here.
Yes.
But like I said, it's a time to really regroup, understand what your talents are, understand your experience, really get to hone in on how you present yourself to the community, and strive to actually get into position to perform that way.
Thank you for bringing that up. As Bonnie and I discussed in our first video, it was about retooling, reinventing yourself for the new workforce adventure that many of us have to dive into because of COVID. We know that a lot of people have been furloughed, and unfortunately, a lot of those jobs are not coming back. So tell me about training opportunities that businesses can seek for their employees.
Sure. So businesses have resources that I don't think that many are aware of. For instance, Lamar Institute of Technology has an actual fund, a COVID-19 fund, where businesses can sign up for a multitude of different trainings, soft skills and technical trainings that are actually paid for already through this fund. One of them that I'm actually conducting myself is a leadership training that we're doing for a business in Nederland, I believe, in the next couple of weeks. And basically what this business said was, you know what, I want to take the opportunity to really focus in on my leadership team and see what it is that they need, especially managing through a pandemic. So I'll be going out there, and obviously we're going to be adhering to CDC guidelines, but I'll be training a group of their executive leaders.
And you came into the room today with your bright, beautiful yellow. And when I see yellow, I think
color.
of optimism.
Yes,
a new
yes,
horizon.
yes.
Give us one message about how optimistic you are about the future.
I am very optimistic. I mean, in our history, in American history, we know that there's been shifts, right? And oftentimes shifts happen through tragedies. I want to talk about the triumph after the tragedy. So it's obvious that we know that technology is not going anywhere. We have kids who are virtually being educated through school. We have businesses that are conducting a lot of their operations virtually. However, it doesn't necessarily mean that jobs are going to be eliminated,
Exactly.
right? It means that businesses are pivoting. So while certain positions or certain responsibilities are going to be absorbed by technology, that gives opportunity for businesses to hire for other opportunities that they weren't able to hire. So I want everyone to really think about the silver lining in this pandemic, right? And not to discount the tragedy and the amount of families that have been impacted negatively, but we are all blessed to continue living. And while we continue living, we have a lot of work to contribute to our community. So think through that. Take the time to think through it. I would say shame on you if you don't come out bigger and better and more inspired after this pandemic.
Yes, we're going to get there. We're going to do great. Thank you so much for joining us today. You have been a breath of fresh air.
Oh, you're so welcome, and thank you so much. I really enjoyed the conversation.
We would like to thank our sponsors for helping us bring this episode of Let's Have a Conversation to you. Thank you, Travis and Lois Woods of Gulf Coast Industrial Groups. And thank you to Grinnell Computers and Security, Lofton Staffing Services and Safety Services. And we would like to thank the Greater Beaumont Chamber of Commerce for hosting our show. And thank you, Biguita, for being our guest today. We appreciate you all.
Bonnie, what an amazing guest. Biguita was just full of knowledge and understands exactly what direction that the economy is going.
Yes, she is, and I knew she would be perfect for the show. I've known her for several months now, and she's spoken about her projects and her endeavor for this community. She is passionate about this community and the workforce in this area, so I knew she'd be perfect for today's show.
Well, thank you so much for joining us once again for Let's Have a Conversation. And if you want to know more about Erika Harris Consulting, it's erikaharrisconsulting.com.
And Bonnie at bmaxine Productions at bmaxine.com.